Carl Jung sat in his clinic one afternoon, reviewing the file of a female patient. This woman never wanted anything for herself. She lived for everyone else's happiness, for approval, to appear humble and selfless. Jung wrote this sentence in his notebook. The greatest tragedy of a woman is not that she doesn't want, it's that she believes wanting will be punished. Right now, as you're looking at this screen, ask yourself, how long have you been apologizing for wanting things in your life? How long has dreaming big, being ambitious, wanting for yourself been labeled as selfish? Who told you that you should stay in the background? Who taught you that big goals are for men only? Today, we're tearing down that wall of lies. Because wanting, demanding, taking, that's your right too. And if you've been wondering for years why you're always the one giving while others receive, why you're always supporting while others shine, don't close this video. Because today, we're destroying that passive, self-sacrificing, people-pleasing mentality. Ready? Let's begin. Why always everyone else? Be a good wife. Be a good mother. Be a good daughter. Be a good employee. You've been crushed under all those be good sentences, and without even realizing it, one day you looked in the mirror and asked yourself, what did I want? Because you were so busy fulfilling everyone else's wishes that you forgot your own. Worse, you forgot you even had the right to want. Like Jung's patient, one day you chose to be a side character in your own life instead of the protagonist. But this wasn't your choice. This was a role imposed on you, and today you're ripping up that script. Because you weren't born to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You were born to be the queen in your own. When a woman knows how to want, you know what happens. The universe bends. But you don't know how to want, because you weren't taught. Instead, you were taught to wait. The prince will come and save you. If you work hard, you'll be noticed. If you behave, you'll be rewarded. Lies, all lies. No one's coming to save you. No one's examining your effort under a microscope. Life only responds to those who demand clearly, who speak up, who say, I'm here and I want this. The rest sit forever in the waiting room. The silent sabotage of your subconscious. Now, I'm going to tell you a truth, and it might hurt. You look like you don't want, but actually you're afraid. You're afraid of wanting, of demanding, of dreaming big. Because this program runs in your subconscious. If I want too much, I'll look greedy. If I put myself forward, I'll be selfish. If I demand, I won't be loved. That's the chain of your imprisonment. You're working for a program that sabotages your own potential. And you didn't write this program. This program was imposed on you by society, by family, by traditions. But today, it's time to delete that program. Jung used to say, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your fate isn't to be unhappy. Your fate is that magnificent life you'll build with your own will. But first, you need to kill that victim identity in your subconscious. Because when a woman chooses to be a victim, she also rejects being a queen. And it's time for you to choose. Either you continue in the victim role, or you put on the crown and take your throne. So how will you want? Most women want like this. I wish I were happy. I wish I had peace. I wish I felt valued. These aren't wants, they're whimpers. These aren't prayers, they're complaints. Life doesn't listen to your wishes. Life listens to clear commands. Jung would ask his patients, what does happiness mean to you? Does it have a color, a scent, a taste? Most couldn't answer. That's the problem. You're wanting something intangible, and the universe is sending you intangible results. It's mathematics. In a restaurant, the waiter comes and asks what you'd like. If you say, something to eat would be nice, what will they bring? Maybe stale bread, maybe cold soup. And then you have no right to complain, because you weren't specific. Life's exactly the same. If you're not specific, life throws random things at you. Wanting is an art, and like every art, it has technique. First rule, kill the vagueness. Don't say, I want a good life. Say, I want a life where I wake up with my coffee by the ocean, doing work I love, seeing pride in my children's eyes, with this specific number in my bank account. Second rule, don't apologize. Don't add weakness phrases like, if possible, maybe, or am I asking too much to your wants. You don't need permission from anyone. You're entitled from birth. Third rule, say it out loud. Don't keep your want in your mind. Write it, speak it, make it exist. Because an unspoken want is like an unborn child. It exists, but it doesn't. A woman's greatest enemy isn't another woman. A woman's greatest enemy is her own scarcity mindset. You dream, but you dream small. Because a voice inside says, isn't this too much for me? Do I deserve this? That voice is the voice that enslaves you. That voice is your enemy. Marcus Aurelius wrote a line in his Meditations. Universal nature is not stingy. Only those who extend small cups receive little. You're standing at the edge of an ocean. In front of you is infinite water, but you're holding a teaspoon. Then you cry and ask why I'm getting so little. The problem isn't the ocean. It's your small spoon. It's the value you assign yourself. Today, throw away that spoon. Go to the ocean with a tanker, because women make up half the world but receive only a small fraction of resources. Why? Because they don't demand. Because they live the lie that women don't want much. You know what's in your DNA? Queens. Your DNA has the code to rule, to govern, to take. It's time to awaken that DNA. Stop telling anyone, I only deserve this much. You deserve infinity. When you hear, a colleague got promoted, that sinister feeling inside. When you see an acquaintance married to an amazing partner, that bitterness, it's normal. Because you were taught that success is limited. If she got it, there's none left for you. If she's beautiful, you must be ugly. If she's rich, you must be poor. This is the math of the poor, the logic of losers. The truth, success is an unlimited resource. One woman shining doesn't darken another. On the contrary, it illuminates the entire room. You can't fill your own bucket by looking at someone else's. Turn your eyes to the ocean. It's infinite. There's enough for everyone. Kill that competitive feeling inside you. Because competition is the game of the weak. The strong don't compete. They create. You create too. Build your own empire without looking at someone else's. Epictetus had a saying, he who looks at the food on another's plate stays hungry. He who plants his own land is fed. What's your land? Where is it? Look there. When a child wants something, you know how they ask? Without any doubt, I want this, certain they'll get it. Then, as we become adults, that faith dies. Fear, doubt, calculation replace it, and that's when we start losing. One of Jung's greatest discoveries was this. The formula for success is childlike faith plus adult strategy, meaning you'll believe like a child, but work like an adult. Without this balance, nothing happens. If you only dream and do nothing, the result is zero. If you only work without believing, burnout. When you combine the two, you create miracles. During the day, be a warrior. Make your plan, build your strategy, take your steps. At night, surrender your soul to that childlike purity. Faith doesn't accept doubt. Faith doesn't wait for proof. Faith says, I want this, and it will happen. Women who can establish this duality become invincible. You establish this balance too. Maybe you're saying right now, I work so hard but get no results. I'll give you a math equation. Life is an equation. Effort times demand equals result. If your effort is 100 but your demand is 1, the result is 100. If your effort is 50 but your demand is 10, the result is 500. See? Effort alone isn't enough. You're not rewarded for how much you work. You're rewarded for how much value you place on that work. Most women ask low for the return on their effort, because inside them lives the fear, if I ask for too much, it won't happen. If you're currently working at a job and not getting the salary you deserve, the problem isn't your boss. It's that you're not asking for that salary. If you're in a relationship and you're unhappy, the problem isn't your partner. It's that you're not demanding that happiness. Demand. Speak up. Life doesn't answer the silent. It answers those who have demands. Seneca said, "Those who remain silent are considered to have consented." What are you consenting to with your silence? Low salary, unhappy relationship, disrespect. Stop. Stop being silent and speak. Now I'm offering you a deal. 90 days that will change the rest of your life. Why 90 days? Because science says this period is essential for a habit to settle. You've been running that bad program in your head for years. It takes time to delete it. Here are the rules. Rule 1. Complaint fast. For 90 days, words like, "I can't," "impossible," "it's hard," "no way," won't come out of your mouth. The old you who used those words is dead. The new you only says, "I will," "it will happen." How do I make it happen? Rule 2. Morning ritual. Every morning when you wake up, look in the mirror and ask yourself, "What do I want today?" and answer out loud. This question keeps your mind in demand mode all day. Rule 3. Covert operation. Don't tell anyone your goals. Keep them inside. Why? Because in psychology, there's a trap called social reality. When you tell someone your goal and they say, "Wow, that's amazing," your brain releases dopamine. You feel satisfied as if you've already achieved it, and your action energy dies. Talking is the greatest enemy of doing. What did Epictetus say? Sheep don't vomit to show the shepherd how much grass they ate. They digest that food inside. Outside, they produce milk and wool. Don't vomit your plans. Go deep like a submarine. Work silently. Let them think you disappeared. Let them see you only when you've climbed to the top. The pressure of that secret you're holding inside is the power that will throw you out of bed at 5 a.m. to work. People should only see you when you deliver results. After 90 days, you won't be the same person. You'll be transformed. But there's a price. These 90 days won't be easy. Your old habits, your comfort zone will scream, "Come back, it's safer here." Don't listen, because safety means death. Growth means risk, and you were born to grow. When you demand what you want, sometimes you'll hear no. Doors will slam in your face, people will disappoint you. That's when your character emerges. How you manage the no answer determines how powerful you become. No is not an ending. No is the universe's question to you. Do you really want this? If you give up at the first no, the system says, "I guess she didn't want it that much." But if you strike harder after that, no, the system says, "This woman is serious. Let's open the path." Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Meaning the obstacle in front of you is actually a tool that strengthens you. Think of an iron rod. You throw it in the fire, you beat it. You throw it in the fire again, and finally that rod becomes a sword. Those no's in your life are that fire and hammer. You're becoming that sword. So don't fear the no. Collect the no, learn, get stronger, and demand again. Encountering resistance is proof you're on the right path, because empty boxes don't get guards. Where the treasure is, that's where the guard is. Get past that guard and take the treasure. Now, I'll ask you the most dangerous question. Do you really want that thing you want, or are you just saying, "It would be nice if it happened"? Because there's an ocean of difference between the two. The difference between wanting and being compelled is as vast as the difference between life and death. Does a person want to breathe? No. A person is compelled to breathe. If someone holds your head underwater, at that moment you don't say, "I hope I can get some air." You'll do everything to get that air. You'll thrash, you'll kick. If necessary, you'll break that hand. Because at that moment, you have no plan B. That's how you should look at that big goal in your life. Is this a hobby for me, or is this my survival? Is this nice to have, or is this must have? If you're saying nice to have, give up, because you'll quit at the first difficulty. But if you're saying this must happen, no one can stop you anymore. The brain is an interesting organ. If you tell it, let's try, or if possible, or it would be good, it gets lazy. But if you say, we have to do this or we're finished, that brain suddenly becomes the world's most creative solution machine. History's greatest achievements came from people who said, I have no other choice. You corner yourself too. Burn the ships. Leave no way back. Because if you have an escape plan in your pocket, you'll never fight with full force. Women especially do this a lot. They always look for a plan B. If it doesn't work, I'll do this. If it doesn't work, I'll do that. No, plan B is the killer of plan A. You only focus on plan A and believe in that plan so much that no other possibility remains. That's when the universe opens the way for you. Now I'll tell you a truth no one tells you. Women are actually much more powerful than men. Why? Because a woman can think both intuitively and logically. She can use both brain hemispheres simultaneously. But the problem, this power wasn't taught to you. On the contrary, this power was hidden from you. Because in societies, women's power has always been seen as a threat. But now there's nothing to hide. You're a being who can think with both your heart and your brain. This gives you a tremendous advantage. Men generally use either only logic or only emotion. You can combine both. When making a business decision, you can both calculate the numbers and feel the emotional energy of that business. In a relationship, you can both listen to the words and understand what's not being said. This is a superpower, but you're not using this power because you were taught women are emotional, illogical. Lie. You are both. Use both. That's when you become invincible. In psychology, Jung called this using the balance of anima and animus. Activate both your feminine and masculine energy simultaneously. Be soft but determined. Be compassionate but ruthless. Be nurturing but commanding. The woman who can live this paradox gets everything. Open social media. What do you see? Perfect lives. Perfect bodies. Perfect relationships. And what do you feel? Inadequacy. This is modern time's greatest curse. Comparison poison. You're constantly looking at other people's storefronts. And when you return to your own home, you're unhappy. But you're forgetting one truth. Those storefronts are fake. Everyone shares their best moment. No one shares their tears, their fights, their failures. You're comparing a curated life with your real life, and you're losing. Stop this game. Your competitor isn't someone else. Your competitor is yesterday's you. Is today's you better than yesterday's you? That's the only question. Someone else being at kilometer 10 doesn't mean they're better than you being at kilometer 2. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's timing is different. Just look at your own path. Marcus Aurelius's golden saying, the greatest victory is the victory won against yourself. Try to surpass yourself. Be a little better every day. Don't look at someone else's Instagram. Look at your own mirror. Because the woman you see in that mirror is your only real competitor. Surpass her, transform her, grow her. Now I'll give you one final formula. This formula is both spiritual and practical. It's called the abundance cycle. First, want, demand, be specific. Second, work, sweat, take action. Third, believe, don't doubt, surrender. And the final stage, give. Yes, you heard right. Give as you receive. Because abundance is like flowing water. Where it stops, it rots. The more you give, the more you receive. But attention, giving is not sacrificing yourself. Giving is pouring from your overflowing cup into someone else's cup. First you'll be full, then you'll overflow, and that overflow will nourish someone else. Most women give by emptying themselves. Their own cup is empty, but they're distributing to everyone. Then they're exhausted, unhappy, tired. No, first be full yourself. Be full of wealth, happiness, peace. Then overflow. This isn't selfishness, it's intelligence. On a plane, when the oxygen mask drops, you put it on yourself first, then on your child. Because if you die, you can't save your child. Life is the same. Save yourself first, then save someone else. This cycle works both spiritually and materially. It works with money, with love, with peace. Want, receive, give, and go back to the beginning. When this cycle operates, your life becomes a flood of abundance. But don't skip any part of the cycle. All four are essential. We've come this far. For about 20 minutes, I've been telling you the truth. Now you know. You know how to want. You know how to demand. You know how to take. There's no more excuse of not knowing. From now on, if you fail, the reason won't be ignorance. The reason will only be cowardice. And that's a very heavy burden. Because knowingly not using your potential is the greatest crime you commit against yourself. Now you'll decide. There are two paths. First path, close this video, return to your life. Tomorrow, morning, be the same woman again, dream small again, live quietly again. And 20 years from now, look in the mirror and say, I wish I had been brave. I wish I had wanted. I wish I had taken. But now, it's too late. Second path, get up right now. Kill that old identity. Birth the new identity. The woman who wants, the woman who demands, the woman who takes, the woman who doesn't apologize, doesn't ask permission, doesn't answer to anyone. The queen. This path isn't easy. You'll disconnect from your environment. Some people who loved the old you won't love the new you because you're no longer controllable. You're dangerous now. But you know, don't you? Paths walked alone lead to the summit. Crowds always go to the cliff. Which path are you choosing? When you make your decision, write it in the comments. Just one word, I demand. Let this be your first command. The first command you give for yourself. And the moment you give this command, the mechanism will start working. The universe will hear you. Doors will open. Opportunities will come. Because the universe doesn't listen to the silent. It listens to those who demand. Now you're one of those who demand. Welcome, Queen.